end that you're doing is dumb. How do, where you from? One prop Z, girl, but you know it's too simple. A bunch of mates do it and it should look dumb. That's how do, where we from? You know, don't start till 1. That's how do, where we from? No exaggeration. X ends the right occasion. X to the N for some stats portion where you meet the right term, make it stay related. Vote samples don't want to be faking. Y'all still sleep, better stay awakened. SRS for the plan to make it. Make the P hat fit, make them know you thinking. Hex to the third, don't forget that though. You better use the count cause the hole's too long. P hat, cock in the load. This another hit, got a P header fits. Stats on my back play, did you peep that? Got a small gap play, you can keep that. It's a big gap, yeah, you gonna fit that. Like yak to the yak. Junk in the trunk, make you pumps in the bump. Mates wanna have fun, make you feel in the stomach. The end that you're doing is dumb. How do, where you from? One prop Z, girl, but you know it's too simple. A bunch of mates do, and it should look dumb. How do, where we from? You know, don't start till 1. How do, where we from? The end that you're doing is dumb. How do, where you from? One prop Z, girl, but you know it's too simple. A bunch of mates do it and it should look dumb. That's how I do it, where we from? You know, don't start till 1. That's how I do it, where we from? Stat. Make it stat, make it fall on C graph. Put it in stats over 2 tests on BT proportion up front, make the students collapse. Yeah, 2 or not, depends on the stats. Boys want to study these 2 samples. Got 2 different stats, let me switch it. Man, I'm so statistic. Big N and big P. Normal, bigger, 5 plus 5, I'm getting it. Doing this, interval, gripping it. Getting these 4 and 5 stats, I'm whipping it. Y'all, I'm so far ahead of y'all. Man, I'm on top of the stars. I don't care, none of y'all are. Blah, 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 blah. You best to go rewrite your box. How to do, where you from? How to do, where you from? That's how to do, where we from? That's how to do, where we from? How to do, where we from? How to do, where you from? That's how to do, where we from? That's how to do, where we from?
We are sorry to interrupt your program television. However, we have some interesting news for you to listen to. Let's get started. Here now report from CIN Confidence Interval Network reports a 95 confidence interval. You're probably wondering what that is, but if you listened to Tony C's music video just now, you probably got a pretty good brief of what it means. Let's go over the basics as we go through our confidence interval. So we're going to do a 95 confidence interval like Tony C talked about in his video. But this special interval is going to be talking about the difference between votes for Tony C's music video C.I. Bling from West Coast to East Coast. The thing with difference intervals is that they're going to be done in a 2-sample test like James Monroe or whatever her name was talking about in her video, Where They From. Let's go over some of the basics of what we got from the testing that we did. The sample that was taken was from 100 people that we asked to report on what they would vote from West Coast and East Coast. These are the results we got together. We're going to quick check our conditions just to make sure we can do this interval. We did this SRS, which we didn't really talk about, but we did do an SRS, so just to let you know. And then there's a normality, which is talking about if the curve really makes sense and can be used in an interval. And since our sample size was 100, we beat out that CLT, which stands for Central Limit Theorem, and that's just a big nonsensical theorem that just talks about how it's big enough, it can do what it needs to do. Next, we're moving on to independence. Independence is talking about how well they affect each other. And so basically, all we need to know is that the sample size isn't as big as our population, and the population in our voting for the West Coast and East Coast for Tony C's C.I. Bling is 10,000 people. So if last time I checked, 10 times 100 only equaled 1,000. So we're pretty good on independence as well. So next thing we had to do was plug it into our calculator Dora right here. See it? Yeah, And what we get is an interval of 2.163 and 5.8369. Now those numbers probably don't mean much to you, but the whole purpose of them is just to see the difference between West and East Coast votes for Tony C's video. So next time we do another testing for this, chances are 95% of the time we're gonna see that the votes are gonna be have a difference between 2.1631 and 5.8369. So that's a wrap for that. Let's get back to the music videos.